We are currently 2 fingers deep into 2026, and I feel like I must confess something. I think it's finally I came clean. You see, I, I have a stutter, a stammer, a speech impediment, if you will. Meaning, every time I try and say a sentence, no matter how well written or coherent it may look, it'll always come out sounding like this.
Have you ever had a dreams that that you had you could you do you want you could do so you do you could you want.
And besides the extra perks that comes along with this debuff, it is a major inconvenience in someone's day-to-day life. In fact, that's an understatement. It is literally hell. You could even say that I'm a diva for this. Ultimately, a person who stutters knows exactly what they want to say. They have no problem thinking about the words. It's just that when their brain synapses start firing back and forth, and it's time for communication, someone starts lacking off, causing the words to come out jumbled or completely different. And the craziest part about this is that the delay isn't even that long. All it takes is a 0.00001 microsecond to turn a simple word like what to either a wah, or my personal favorite, just a wah, followed by a long silence of a person trying to catch or maybe complete that word. And my guy, it is literally hell. And the consequences of this is that whenever you try speaking to people, you fail to communicate who you are as a person and you can't express yourself. And the amount of confidence you lose is damn near over 9,000. And what tends to make this even worse is how unexpected it comes at you. Because sometimes you can feel it coming there and you can stop talking,
or you're at the point of no return, and the stuttering has you in its domain expansion, causing you to repeatedly fail at saying any word. But sometimes you're having a good conversation with someone, and then out of nowhere, it hits you with a black flash, and then from the corner of your eye, you see someone smiling, giggling, showing all 32 teeth like they are live at a Dave Chappelle special. Because when a stutter catches you off guard, even a simple word like because becomes an audacious task. But then some good Samaritan thinks that he's helping you by finishing your words. And sometimes I appreciate it, and just move on with the conversation. But sometimes I just hate it because I'm the one who's talking here. How dare you interrupt me? I should hunt down your entire family for this. And depending on who you are, that shit can obliterate your self-confidence. As for female attention, yeah, go ahead and forget that. Because trying to talk to a girl that you're interested in while you have the stuttering perk equipped is like walking on a minefield. One misstep and your social life is cooked. Because all it takes is just one of these.
You do you want you.
And I promise you, after that, most girls will lose all interest in you. And make no mistake, I'm not blaming my stuttering for my 25 years of celibacy. I do that on my own, but it is a factor. Curious enough though, how my old man got the old lady with a stutter isn't proof of Cupid's hard work or some stupid idea that everyone finds love. No, it's just a mystery that even science cannot explain. Though I will say that I was a tad bit lucky because I only began stuttering when I was like 13 or 14. And before that, I was not only charismatic, but one of the funniest kids in primary school. And I enjoyed debates, speeches, speaking in classes, and I was even in the choir, my guy. And I'm not sure if I remember this correctly, but my Reese was unmatched. And seeing my chopped looks and damn near 6 foot stature at like 13 got her to nerf me with the stutter. And in my first year of high school, I got that Inumaki treatment. And with how vicious high school children are, playing a game like Souls-like or Sekiro or maybe Geometry Dash is less stressful. But the point I'm trying to make is that I got off lucky. My stuttering perk isn't completely maxed out, and I can at least speak, for the most part. Because for some people though, they spawned in with that perk fully maxed out, and while they may have a better chance of trying to unequip it than me, I think I got off easy. But that's a matter of perspective. Do you think it's worse having the rug steps under your feet or never having a rug at all? And I remember the first time I met my father when I was like 10, despite looking like me, the first time this man opened his mouth, I couldn't hear a word he said. He spoke with my grandmother, and while they conversed in the Zulu language that I was raised and well versed in, I couldn't understand a single word he said because he spoke fast. I remember asking my grandmother afterwards as to what the fuck this nigga was talking about. And a year later, I went to visit my father for the first time, and at this time, my ears had leveled up. They were experienced, they were matured, they could even hear loose change in people's pockets. And my brain was able to single-handedly translate my father's Speed Force-infused Zulu to the everyday Zulu that everyone outside of KZN knows. And then I met the family, from my grandfather to my uncles and aunties. I noticed that them and their children also had a stutter. All of this is to say that My stuttering was passed down through generations, like some precious family heirloom. And the sad thing is that I already met the requirements to awaken it through the other rituals. And the reason I even thought about this was because there's a kid in my neighborhood who's built like Rick Ross, and he also stutters. And looking at this kid's exterior model, he will definitely get bullied. I can even hear the jokes right now. But because of him, I looked up stuttering online, and sure enough, everyone I saw was talking about a sad life, and I'm like, God damn, this really is a plague. And the more I watched them, the more I thought, damn, I really got the long end of the stick in this bargain. I mean, having a stick isn't what it's cracked up to be, but at least it's long, right? But while scrolling through TikTok and indulging in fraud and fraud, I saw this video that claimed that you can manage your stuttering. And at first I thought, psh, man, come on. I've seen these types of videos. Stuttering cannot be fixed, my guy. But then something inside of me, or maybe in me, decided to continue watching the video. And as they began to list off symptoms and problems, I began to feel attacked, like I was getting jumped through the screen or something. Because the problem they mentioned is something that I also struggle with, and that's talking fast. And the crazy thing about it is that I can't even hear it. People tell me about it, but I can't hear it. But from now on, I have changed my mindset and I'm prepared to fix my stuttering. Granted, this also means that even though I was being consistent in my uploads, but the videos will start taking longer to make. Because another pull to the stuttering thing is that I'll try saying something, but then halfway through stutter, causing me to try and repeat that sentence over and over and over again. The situation is so crazy that it sometimes takes me more than half a day to say a single sentence. And that's why in so many of my videos, my voice fluctuates. But without making this any longer, I won't bother you with the details and, well, that's all, folks. But do I have to say
Is he
that?
allowed to say that?
Legally?
Legally?